Tim Cowlishaw joining us on loan from Dallas Morning News. And are we interrupting an Around the Horn pre-show meeting?
511-192.
Okay.
Technically, by the time I hang up, the conference call will have begun. I will be late. Thank you very much. Probably cost me 3 points.
How long does the pre-show meeting last? Does it last longer than the actual show itself?
Depends on whether or not Woody's on the show.
I knew it.
Was that your pick?
Yes, because I said Woody probably has a funny line or tries to have a funny line with every topic.
That might be accurate. Especially the second one you said, tries to. It takes about an hour, a little less than an hour to do the conference call. Now, they're doing stuff. They're getting it ready. I'm just talking about the talent portion of the show on the conference call.
Wow, you're talent now, huh? Okay.
Well, that's what they say.
Now, what do they give you all the topics that you're going to have, and then you go, right?
Yes, we go over all the topics, and sometimes we move them around based on, this one wasn't that interesting, but this thing we had down here in buy or sell, let's move that up to the A block, and because we have a better discussion there. So there you have it.
Okay, all right.
That's how the sausage is made.
Is there any controversy at all? Like, has anybody ever really gotten mad at somebody else?
Yes. You mean on the conference call or just on the show?
Both.
Yeah. But one of those panelists is no longer on the show. He's left about 8 years ago.
Okay, so Jay Mariotti.
I didn't say any names.
No, you didn't.
I didn't say any
names.
names.
Did not. You did not. But Jay Mariotti got upset with who?
Oh, I don't know. He might have. He was very competitive. Do
you think you could have taken Mariotti?
Well, we went at it day after day, and he the best of me now and then, and then I got the best of him in a book I wrote. So we went back and forth.
No, I'm talking about a fight, like you against Mariotti.
Oh, well, I've got some size on him. He's a short little fella, but he's scrappy. I don't know. He might surprise me.
He could be a wrestler. No, I'd have to look at his ear. You can always tell a wrestler. You just look at their ears. So they got a cauliflower ear.
They're all bent 3 different directions. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was all I wanted to talk to you about, Tim.
Okay, that's what I thought. I pretty much knew it.
Set the scene. Are you on Around the Horn today because of the Dez Bryant topic?
I'm on because I'm scheduled. I assume the Dez Bryant topic will be part of the show.
Okay.
Although, there's another problem as long as we're, peeling back layers here and showing how the sausage is made. When we think something is going to happen before 5 o'clock Eastern, sometimes we have to avoid it. Like a day baseball playoff game or something, Like, we can't talk about that because that's going to be over by the time we're on the air. So, and nobody really knows, nobody has a clue what's going to happen today. It wouldn't surprise me if Jerry Jones talks to Dez for 2 hours and never even brings up the contract. And Jerry just talks. Wouldn't be surprised if they announce they're releasing him today. I'd be very surprised if there was some sort of announcement that we've come to terms on any kind of deal regarding his contract. So I think it's either just like no news coming out of it or we've decided to part ways.
What's Dallas's draft strategy?
Well, I think regardless of the Dez thing, they're at 19 and they want a wide receiver. They need a middle linebacker. They lost Anthony Hitchens to the Chiefs. So they could go linebacker first round, wide receiver second, because there's always a lot of good wide receivers in the second round, and there are this year. But Jason Garrett and the whole staff went to Alabama to work out Calvin Ridley. So that could be a very big possibility. They'll get a wide receiver in the first or second round. They're gonna have to. They got Alan Hearns, who's a nice player, but I don't know that he's beyond that. Although one little tidbit you and the Danettes probably don't know. How many more yards do you think Sammy Watkins had over the last 3 years? Sammy Watkins, who got $48 million, than Alan Hearns.
I would take Alan Hearns.
Okay, well, Sammy Watkins had 78 yards more over the last 3 years.
Okay.
But I'm saying the Cowboys got him 2 years, $12 million. Chiefs got Watkins 3 years, $48 million, with 20-some guaranteed.
Yeah, I like Hearns.
They're pretty much the same stats year after year.
Yeah, but they need a number one receiver. That's the problem I have with Dallas.
Right, and I don't think Hearns is that. He might be a number 2 if he's healthy. But so that's why your first or second round pick this year or by next year needs to be your number 1 receiver.
Your favorite Jerry Jones draft day story is what?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It was very in the old days in the 90s. Remember, they used to do contracts with players while they were on the clock, and the league made them stop that because they would talk to different players and say, "We're gonna." That's how they got, I think, Russell Maryland with the first pick. They were going to take somebody else if you don't take this deal, and the league eventually made them. Said that's not how we do things here. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He has.
What wasn't he taking Johnny Manziel?
I think that's a little overstated. I mean, he certainly, once it fell to him, he was interested. But the idea that he had some card ready to turn in, I don't think it got that close from everybody who's talked about that. He was interested. Steven and all the scouts and the coaches were not, and they talked him down on that one. It would have been more entertaining, but Zach Martin has turned out to make the All-Pro team every year. So probably a good thing that they didn't.
If you would look at the draft status of Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin, and fast forward to today's NFL, if they were coming out of college right now, how do you think we would look at their skill set and personalities and baggage going into the draft?
Michael's baggage going into the draft wasn't that significant. He'd had very minor, stuff at Miami. He would be, Troy would be regarded the way he was. I mean, he would be regarded as who's a recent Carson Wentz, but from UCLA. I'm trying to think of the big, strong arm, can make all the throws, but he's played at UCLA.
Okay.
Almost like Andrew Luck, but a notch below Andrew Luck, I would say.
Okay.
Even though he went on to have a great career, we don't know about Andrew. Emmitt, you got to remember, 17th pick, and the Cowboys spent that whole draft trying to get defensive players. They tried to get James Francis. They tried to get Lamar Latham. And when they couldn't get him, Jimmy finally said, "You guys go ahead and take your running back," because they had just traded for Terrence Flagler. You got to remember.
Oh, the running back, Terrence Flagler
from the 49ers. They had traded for Daniel Stubbs and Terrence Flagler a couple days before the draft, and they thought Flagler was their starting running back. But so Emmitt, would be viewed as a guy who runs about a 4.6, and he's a running back. And how valuable is that today? So he would probably be discredited the most, even though he's the one that went on to get 18,000 yards.
If you call in right now could you call in right now while we're on the radio? Could you conference the show in?
You want me to patch you into the conference
could you
call?
patch in the show to Around the Horn? I've got some hot takes for reality.
Okay. If I had more technological savvy,
that's right.
That.
My bad.
Next time.
I would like to be punched into the Around the Horn conference call.
They asked me to do Skype once on Mike and Mike on a show that used to be called Mike and Mike, and that didn't go well.
Yeah,
I would get that going.
I would not do that to America. I would not do that to them.
It's frightening early in the morning.
Could you give me the phone number to the conference call right now on the air, and then we could just call in?
I can't do it on the air, but maybe privately. I have a little text message, something like that.
Yeah,
we'll get you involved.
How many
We'd
points?
like to have you more involved.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. How many points do you think you cost yourself by being on this show
today? By being late, and specifically being late to do this show, which I've caught. I'm going to say it's a 5-point deduction, and that's that right there. That takes me out of the showdown. I have no chance against Sarah Spain with that sort of loss.
Yeah.
So I did it for you.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
I took one for the DP show.
And I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch today.
I know you are. Would you like me to wear anything specific?
Ooh. How about you don't wear pants?
Well, how would you know that? How do you know I ever wear pants?
Oh. See, Woody Page strikes me as a guy who may not wear pants.
He might not. He's got a lot of props there, but he might not have any pants at all.
How about this? You wear a kilt today and then stand up at some point.
Interesting.
Like how many kilts do you have? Like, be honest with the audience.
Fewer than you think, yes.
All right, well, make me proud today.
Not as many as I should. That's a better way
Yeah.
to answer that question.
I think kilts are underrated, man. I tell you.
If I do a little like Carol Burnett thing where I kind of tweak my nose or something or pull on my ear, is that a little signal to you?
How about this? How about you run your fingers through your hair?
Well, most of America would like to do that.
Yeah, they would. I'm at the front of the line. Could you do that? Maybe just toss, just like a little flip or something.
Yeah, a little hair flip.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna add to the audience by about 4 or 5 people today. So that should...
I would think that gets us up another rating point. That's good. That keeps us out of highly questionable.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, guys.
That's Tim Cowlishaw. He's a Cowboys insider or something like that. He works for Dallas Morning News and, of course, Around the Horn.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.